Welcome to this informative session on the Goods and Services Tax, better known as GST. Have you ever wondered why GST is called One Nation, One Tax? Or how it has transformed the Indian taxation system by simplifying indirect taxes? Well, today, we are going to explore everything you need to know about GST, right from its concept, benefits, and key features to the functions of the GST Council, GST Acts, important definitions, exemptions, tax rates, and even practical GST computations. Before we begin, if you find this video helpful, do like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more such insightful content. Let's get started. Section 1. Concept of GST. GST, or Goods and Services Tax, is a comprehensive, multi-stage, destination-based tax levied on the supply of goods and services. It has replaced multiple indirect taxes like VAT, service tax, excise duty, and others, thereby streamlining the tax structure. GST is a destination-based tax, meaning the tax is collected in the state where the goods or services are consumed, not where they are produced. It is also multi-stage, which means it is applied at every step of the supply chain, from manufacturer to consumer. The structure of GST consists of CGST, Central GST, levied by the central government on intra-state supplies. SGST, State GST, levied by state governments on intra-state supplies. IGST, Integrated GST, levied by the central government on interstate supplies. With GST, businesses can claim input tax credit, ITC, ensuring that tax is only paid on value addition and avoiding the cascading effect of taxation. Section 2. Salient Features of GST. Single tax structure. GST subsumes multiple indirect taxes into one uniform tax. Destination-based tax, collected at the place of consumption. Input tax credit, ITC, allows businesses to claim credit for the tax paid on inputs, reducing the overall tax burden. Composition scheme. Small taxpayers with turnover up to 1.5 crore rupees can opt for a lower tax rate under the composition scheme. Threshold limit. Businesses with annual turnover up to 40 lakh rupees for goods and 20 lakh rupees for services are exempt from GST registration. Online compliance. GST returns, registration, and payments are processed through the GST portal. Section 3. Benefits of GST. Eliminates the cascading effect, reduces tax on tax by allowing input tax credit. Uniformity across states, one consistent tax structure for the entire country. Ease of doing business, simplifies tax compliance and makes India a unified market. Increased transparency, everything is recorded digitally, reducing tax evasion. Boost economic growth, by streamlining taxation and reducing business costs. Section 4. GST Council and its functions. The GST Council is a constitutional body responsible for making decisions on GST-related policies and laws. It consists of Union Finance Minister as the chairperson, State Finance Ministers from all states and UTs. The key functions of the GST Council include recommending tax rates, exemptions, and threshold limits, resolving disputes related to GST, making decisions on special provisions for states. Section 5. Overview of GST Acts. GST is governed by 5 key legislations. A. The Central Goods and Services Tax Act, 2017, CGST Act, governs tax levied by the central government on intrastate supplies. B. The Integrated Goods and Services Tax Act, 2017, IGST Act, covers interstate transactions and tax sharing between states. C. The Union Territory Goods and Services Tax Act, 2017, UTGST Act, applies to union territories without legislatures. D. The Goods and Services Tax, Compensation to States, Act, 2017, provides compensation to states for revenue loss due to GST implementation. A. The State Goods and Services Tax Act, 2017, SGST Act. Each state has its own SGST Act, governing intra-state supplies. Section 6. Important GST definitions. Understanding GST terminology is essential. Here are some key definitions. Aggregate turnover, total value of taxable supplies, exempt supplies, exports, and interstate supplies. Business, any trade, commerce, profession, or manufacturing activity. Central tax, tax levied under the CGST Act. Cess, additional tax for specific purposes, such as compensation to states. Composite supply, a supply consisting of 2 or more goods or services naturally bundled together. Exempt supply, goods or services not subject to GST. Input tax credit, ITC, credit on tax paid for inputs used in business. Reverse charge, where the recipient pays tax instead of the supplier. Taxable supply, any supply on which GST is levied. Union territory tax, tax levied in UTs without legislatures. Section 7, exemptions under GST. Certain goods and services are exempt from GST, including agricultural produce, educational services, healthcare services, basic food items like rice, wheat, and fresh vegetable services by the government. Section 8, GST tax rates. GST rates are categorized into 5 slabs: 0% exempted goods and services, essential goods like milk, vegetables. 5% household essentials like sugar, coffee, tea. 12% processed food, mobile phones, textiles. 18% most services, electronics, branded clothes. 28% luxury items like cars, air conditioners, tobacco. Section 9, practical questions on GST computation. Let's now discuss some basic GST calculations. Example 1, intra-state supply. A trader in Delhi sells goods worth 10,000 rupees to a buyer in Delhi. GST rate, 18%, CGST 9% plus SGST 9%. Tax calculation, CGST equals 900 rupees. SGST equals 900 rupees. Total GST equals 1,800 rupees. Total invoice value, 11,800 rupees. Example 2, interstate supply. A trader in Maharashtra sells goods worth 10,000 rupees to a buyer in Karnataka. IGST at 18% equals 1,800 rupees. Total invoice value equals 11,800 rupees. Example 3, input tax credit utilization. A company has the following ITC balance: CGST equals 5,000 rupees. SGST equals 5,000 rupees. IGST equals 10,000 rupees. If the company has an IGST liability of 12,000 rupees, ITC is utilized in the following order as per section 49(5). IGST credit first right pointing arrow 10,000 rupees used. Remaining 2,000 rupees IGST payable in cash. That's all about GST, its concept, benefits, council, acts, key definitions, exemptions, tax rates, and computations. With GST, India has moved towards a simplified and transparent taxation system, making business easier for everyone. If you found this video useful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more educational content. See you in the next video.